Today, we are here for a story time. Yes, I said it, we're here for a story time. You guys read the title, you clicked the video, you in here to see me and listen to me talk about this story time. This ain't clickbait. So I gave birth on August 4th. My son was 24 weeks and 4 days old when he was born. Tiny as can be. He weighed 1 pound, 11 ounces, and he was like 12 and something inches long. I'll put a little picture up on the screen of the first picture we ever got of him. You can't see his face at all, but you can kind of see a little bit how tiny he was. I can't even kind of believe that I'm making this video that I already gave birth and stuff like that. I feel like I just found out that I was pregnant. I barely had a big belly bump. If you guys watched my gender reveal video, I kind of showed you guys how my belly was looking, and it was like small. I had the tiniest bump ever, so a lot of people still didn't even know that I was pregnant. The story goes like this. In the morning when I had woke up, I had told my boyfriend anyways, I was like, I don't feel good. I feel like I might call out of work. I don't know, it was just something. I just wasn't feeling good. So my boyfriend was like, oh, well then just call out of work and just relax, whatever. And then I was like, no, you know what, I'll just go to work. If I'm not feeling good by half the day, then I'll leave. So I was at work and all of a sudden I felt these, it wasn't even excruciating yet, but like I started having cramps. So when I would normally have my period before, I would never get cramps. If I did have cramps, they were very mild. I wouldn't even have to take any medicine to make myself feel better. These ones were like kind of hurting. I was like, ooh, like I've never really felt this feeling before, and it just progressively kept getting worse. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna tell my boss that I'm not feeling good. I gotta go home. I left work, came back to my apartment. I just decided to lay down. I was like, okay, maybe I just need to rest, take a nap, go to sleep. When I wake up, everything's gonna be okay. I tried to go to sleep. I could not go to sleep because of how bad like these cramps were hurting. So I had got up to go use the restroom. This is when I started breaking out. I went to the restroom and like I seen blood in the toilet. I was like, what the last time I checked, shorty was pregnant and I'm not supposed to be bleeding. What is going on? It looked like I had my period. So I was like, okay, something is wrong. Something is totally wrong. Me and my boyfriend decided to go to the hospital. I got admitted into the hospital. The doctor came in and he took a look at me and he said something about the sac that the baby was in. It was like bulging, which I don't really know what that means. He just told me it was bulging, and basically I was going into preterm labor. They were going to inject me with steroids and put me on a medicine to try to keep the baby in as long as possible, hopefully to stop my contractions, you know, to try to prevent me to going into labor because I was only 24 weeks. I got all hooked up to the bed, whatever. At this point, because of like the whole COVID stuff that's going on, Xavier wasn't allowed to come back there with me just yet. I was in the hospital bed by myself, a little bit scared, worried, like what's going on. Everything kind of felt like so surreal to me, kind of like it was a dream. Like, is this really happening? He said I'm going into preterm labor. What's going on? Like 1,000 things just running through my mind. Eventually they moved me to another room. They told me I could have Xavier come to the room. That made me feel a little bit better that he was there with me. And they gave me steroid shots. They started the medicine, the IV on me. I swear, like as soon as I got to the hospital, like the contractions just got even worse. I stood the whole entire night at the hospital, still going through the contractions the entire night. They kept asking me if I wanted to take an epidural. I kept telling them no because my mother scared me about the epidural. She's like, you don't need it, don't take it. They also kept trying to give me like pain medicine. I think I took it once or twice. I took the pain medicine, but after that I was just like, I was telling them no. I'm not a person that's too fond of medicines anyways. I don't try to put too many medicines in my body because it's not natural. So I just try to be a tough girl, you know what I'm saying? You guys, I was yelling in that room. I didn't care at all who hurt me, who was looking at me. I don't care, which I'm pretty sure the doctors and nurses understand because they see that all the time when women are giving birth. But it was just, they just hurt so bad I didn't know what to do. What did help me is taking my deep breaths, speaking positive to myself, tell myself it's gonna be okay, you know. I wouldn't say I handled it very well. They did hurt, but I would say that I handled it very well, you know, minus the yelling here and there. I barely got any sleep that night that I was in the hospital. Morning time comes around, still having the contractions. The doctors asked me again if I want epidural because they believe that I am going to go into labor and that I was gonna have the baby in the morning because my contractions didn't get any better. They didn't stop, they didn't weaken, so obviously the medicine wasn't working, and my son was like, I'm coming today. I had him at 9:40 in the morning, so it was like 9 something that the doctor came in to like check me to see how dilated I was. I was dilated 8 centimeters. At that point, the doctor was like, yep, I have to break your water, you're gonna have the baby. So he broke my water. Let me tell you something. After he broke my water, those contractions went from like here to freaking here. Came back in the room a little bit afterwards, checked me again. I was 10 centimeters dilated. He was like, all right, you're gonna push. And again, like I just felt so out of it. Like I'm like, is this really happening right now? I'm really giving birth. Like somebody wake me up, somebody pinch me, because I gotta be dreaming. Like this can't be real. I pushed like 2 times and he came out, like, because he was just so tiny, but it still hurt. Like regardless of the fact that he was only 1 pound, that shit still hurt. And salute to all the mothers who have given birth to like 9-pound babies, 8-pound babies, like even 6-pound babies, like, because that was way bigger than him being 1 pound, but him still being 1 pound, like it hurt a lot. They immediately, of course, took him away. I didn't even get to see him, didn't get to hold him because he's so little. They had to immediately like get some, I think they had to put him like what they call, they had to bag him, so they have to put like breasts in him and all that stuff. So they were over there doing that with him. I was over there on the bed. They were pushing out all the rest of the stuff that needed to come out, and they were pushing down on my stomach hard as hell. I wanted to punch one of those doctors because that shit hurt. Didn't want to punch the doctor though at the same time because, you know, I know they're just doing their job. So I wasn't able to see him until later on that night, but we had got transferred to a different hospital. So I had him in one hospital, we had to get transferred to a different hospital because the hospital that I gave birth at, they weren't fully equipped to deal with babies that small. He's just so tiny and small. Like I almost couldn't believe it. I was like, is that really my son? I kind of felt at the same time like a disconnect. Of course, I was so happy to like have him, and I was happy, you know, to be pregnant with him, but it hurt me a lot at the same time too, because I know he wasn't supposed to be here yet, and I was just thinking about everything that he's gonna have to go through, and like being on a breathing machine, and you know, it sucks because everybody wants to have a happy, healthy pregnancy all the way through, wants to have a happy, healthy baby all the way through, you know, and for them to be full term, it's so important for those babies to grow inside of you for the full 9 months. And especially at his age, his lungs weren't fully developed yet. I was happy, but like I said, at the same time, I felt a disconnect. And seeing him just like in that incubator, and you know, he has a whole bunch of stuff all over his face. He has a whole bunch of wires on him. I didn't really get to see his face, I would say maybe until like as of recently, when he's gotten a little bit bigger. He's almost a month old. September 4th, he'll be a month old. He's still tiny. He weighs 2 pounds, 6 ounces now. So he is gaining weight. He is drinking milk through a feeding tube, which is good. And that makes me happy to see that, you know, he's putting on some weight and he doesn't look as like bony and just little anymore. He's still little, but he looks a little bit more healthier with some meat on his bones. But as of right now, you know, he's doing really good. So I'm very, very grateful for that. It is tough having him in a hospital so far away because he is pretty far from where I actually live. So, and I'm back at work. So in between being at work all day, getting off, you know, having to drive an hour, we go drive an hour to go see him every day, and then have to come back an hour. It's just a lot. I really wish, you know, things would have happened differently, but everything happens for a reason, and I'm still grateful for him. I'm grateful for how well he's doing. All I can do is keep positive every single day. And I know a lot of people too were confused. Like I had posted a picture on Instagram with my son. A lot of people DM'd me. They were like, when were you even pregnant? Is this baby isn't even yours? A lot of people were telling my boyfriend, like, whose baby is this? I thought the star just got pregnant and da 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 da. Yes, it's my baby. It's his baby too. It's just that this is the situation that was given to us. We had him preterm, and still the doctors weren't able to tell me why. So that's something that is a little bit scary. I'm thinking about going, you know, to more doctors to see if they can, you know, do some tests on me or like check me or something like that to see maybe if they can tell me why that this happened, because, you know, I want to know, because later on down the line, if I want to have more kids, I need to know why it happened. Because every single time I went to the OBGYN, they told me I was very low risk pregnancy, I'm very healthy, nothing to worry about. I don't know what happened. So you guys send positive energy our way and positive thoughts for our son, that he remains healthy and happy, and that hopefully we can take him home soon. It's not gonna be anytime soon. They told me not to expect him to come home before his due date, which his due date was November 20th, and it is currently September 2nd. So we still have a little ways to go, but still, just as long as he's healthy when he's able to come home, whether it's November, December, October, who knows, just as long as he's healthy, that's what we want. If this has happened to you or you went through a similar situation, let me know, because I don't know anybody who, not personally, I don't know anybody who's gone through, I know a lot of women have premature babies, but me personally, like in my close family, nobody has had a premature baby. So just share y'all stories with me if you guys know somebody, a close family friend, if you went through this experience yourself, and tell me about y'all's experience, because I want to know. Anyways, love you guys, and I'll see you on my next video. My next video is gonna be more of, I wouldn't say this is a sad video, you know, but my next video is gonna be, you know, happy, up tempo, good vibes. Bye.